Particularly reduced in the women's event. As the tour goes on, people pull out. There's been a lot of sickness actually amongst the Norwegians and the Swedes. They've been sharing a hotel, which is slightly unusual. We've only got 58 left in the women's event, so this is the non-sprinters' best chance to get into the top 30 and get into the knockout phases of the sprint events. And it can be so important for people like Weng, Mike, Stadlover, Anderson. It could be a bit of a surprise.
And that's what I'm hoping for today, a surprise. And would it be a surprise if this lady wins? I don't think that would even be a surprise. She has podiumed here in the past, but it's not a forte, is it? A sprint classic. But I think this course suits her.
Yeah. And it's a new course, so no one knows exactly what to do, although I think the general opinion, Mike, is you want to be 3 meters behind the leader coming down into the stadium. Well, here's the new course. Doesn't really give away the severity of the climbs, but a big one halfway through, and then that leads into the descent that ultimately comes into the stadium. I think we need to see the first of the heats before we make up our minds as to whether it's an improvement on what we've had in the past. But certainly we're hoping for it, because they did not hold back when it came to expenses. There's your start list, and most of the top skiers going off early. Heidi Weng looking for another Tour de Ski podium finish. Can anyone catch Diggins? I don't think so, Mike. She's got, what, a minute 36 advantage over everyone.
It's huge, Patrick, and that's maybe the critical point of aspect of today. As long as she doesn't have a bad day, she's very much safe for the final brutal day tomorrow.
Eva Ingebrigtsen, who played a good role in the 5K mass start, the new format used in stage 3, not to everyone's liking, but I think generally the opinion was it's a good thing. And I think they'll learn how to race it, and the athletes will learn how to communicate in the future, because it involves teamwork. And if everyone in the group pulls their weight, you can all get good positions.
Yes, I do hope that's a regular fitting for the future of the Tour de Ski. Certainly exciting to watch.
Yeah, an announcement, a minute's silence for the victims of the disaster in Crans-Montana. Of course, many Italians, youngsters involved in that.
Nella tragedia di Crans-Montana. I nostri pensieri e la nostra più sincera vicinanza sono rivolti alle famiglie, agli amici e a tutte le persone colpite da questo tragico evento. La comunità sciistica internazionale è unita nel dolore e nella solidarietà. Grazie.
Thank you. Grazie.
Yeah, very sad occasion, which of course is ongoing, and condolences to all those involved and all the families who have lost relatives and friends. Well, a little bit of a sombre occasion at the start of the sprint, and Monica Skinder, that's a difficult position for her, Mike. She really wanted to be on her toes, dancing around, staying warm, and I think she probably should have had a couple of minutes extra just to get prepared for the race. But she's underway, and she's going to be chased by Maya Dahlqvist, one of the top sprinters, the Olympic silver medalist. And Dahlqvist, on her best form, Mike, is a winner. She's got 6 wins. We'll see how she goes.
Yes, and I'd love to see the Italians on their Olympic track, their new Olympic track, to really shine today. And I think we might see evidence of that. They certainly are on the upward trend in terms of their sprinting performances.
Maybe a little bit late for Olympic success. Drivenes for Norway, lying 9th in the Tour standings at the moment. Made the knockout phases in the first sprint, the opening stage of the Tour. And the 26-year-old from Connerud is going to be chased by Nadia Kalin, who had a fantastic 5K.
Yes, her sister has had to pull out of the tour, but she must be believing after those good results in the 5K. She can believe now she can stay with the best.
Yeah, very important for those who've never had success. This is Pia Fink from Munzingen, which is what's south of Stuttgart, down the sort of southwest side of Germany. And she's lying in 11th place in the tour. She would dearly love to get herself up into the top 10. Melissa Gall from France.
I think she's on the upward journey, Gall, although it was last year where she had her best ever 8th in Davos, the sprint, proving she can make the top.
Yeah, that was a good start from Dahl. Jess Diggins, 34 now. Last season, 3 sprint wins in her career. The last one, Mike, in the Tour de Ski, back in Lenzerheide in 2021. It's been a while. Everything seems to have been going her way so far this season. Maybe she can get a next win here.
And this is great, Patrick. I think we're going to follow her all the way around so that we can see, the audience can see this new profile, the way they've laid out this track, and I really like it. And you know what? I really think Jessie Diggins, can you imagine what's going through her mind? All the positivity, my last ever sprint here in Val di Fiemme, and it's so important for tomorrow, and a good feel for the Olympics, which is actually in the same technique.
So not her last sprint ever in Val di Fiemme.
Outside of the Olympics.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, she said goodbye to Toblak, and they gave her a big celebration up there and a presentation. Of course, Toblak, where she got her first win, and it's where she's had her most recent win. And just a couple of months of World Cup skiing. I think starting a family is high on the priority list at the moment for Jess Diggins, but fully focused on this season. Now, that's a slightly awkward corner. I've never thought her cornering is quite as smooth, and her cornering on the 5K race, Mike, and the 20K, it's scrappy, but you can just see how much work goes into it.
Oh, listen, this course hasn't had a reprieve yet, Patrick, from the gun. It's been all work, even those 6 seconds down that fairly tight right-hander. You had to work hard, so the body is boiling now, absolute pain. This is recovery, but you still have to work heavily through your legs on the cornering. It's a tough course. The changes they've made, I think, has spiked it to the even harder level. And this was a tough sprint course anyway. That corner, deceptive. It is fast, and your legs are exploding as you try to step round it.
Yeah, Diggins has gone into 5th place. She's 3.4 seconds off the leaders, going through 0.8 kilometres. The work rate is there. This is the big climb, Mike, and the toughest part of the course. And what the Norwegians were saying was it's unusual to have such a steep climb that is then followed by a gradual uphill as opposed to a downhill.
And you know, this is all on the back of a minute 20 of limited stroke, zero recovery. Jess Diggins, it's not her smoothest. I'm surprised. I thought this would be more smooth, as she showed us over the 20-kilometer in the pursuit 2 days ago.
Yeah, I think that might be, is that Katarina Gantz chasing her up the climb? We'll get confirmation on that in a moment. To Martin Pinter of Italy is the fastest through the 800-meter stage. Driveness of Norway leading in the finish with a time of 3:52. There aren't many athletes who would say that is a sprint.
Oh, it felt so much longer. I thought we'd be down to 3:27 to 3:35, but it looks like it's going to be brutal. Nearly 4 minutes. Is that a sprint?
Well, we will see. What do you think it will come down to? 3:45 maybe. Diggins now on the descent into the stadium. This is where you want to be, in perfect position, just tucked in behind the leader. This hill is slightly increased, so might involve a bit of double poling. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5. And then that's good work from Diggins, Mike. So many would just, once they reach the top of the hill, stop poling. But she keeps it going. And the 3:51, it looks as though it's going to be bettered. Diggins was some way off the pace. No, in fact, she's going to be outside. And Gal will stay as the #1 for now. Diggins certainly doing enough to get through in the top 30.
Hey, that was interesting, Patrick, especially the final time there. Nearly 4 minutes, 3:54.10 for Diggins.
This is Albrecht of Norway coming in, and Albrecht was 4 seconds off the pace at the halfway stage. That's increased slightly. Moa Ilar, she's still on form, and Ilar second in the Tour standings. That's impressive. Now, if she gets a win, Mike, and Diggins makes a hash of the first knockout round, that could change things a little bit.
That is so interesting, Patrick. And Moa Ilar, she paced it beautifully. She was way off, well, I would say way off. She was 1.6 seconds off the lead pace at halfway. Beautifully paced, and she's not a renowned sprinter.
Yeah, Krill 10.46. Only 58 competitors. 30 go through, so 50%, over 50% will qualify. Stadlober, surely she's going to go through, but it's a big margin, and she's in a spot of bother. 12th place at the moment.
She is that. I agree with you, a spot of bother, but I think there'll be a 10-second at least separation from first to 30th today.
Yeah, Frida Karlsson's gone through the halfway. She's only 2 seconds off. What about Heidi Weng? Looking for yet another finish in the Tour. She's won the Tour twice, Heidi Weng, and certainly another outstanding season from the Norwegian veteran.
Oh, surprise. I thought Heidi would be slightly less behind the winner than 10.78.
Yeah, Nadia Kalin survives, but Stadlover pushed down another place. I think many of them have gone off too hard, Mike. And Diggins' time isn't going to be too bad at the end of the day. 11.65 for Janatova. The bulk of the top athletes go off in the first half of the field. So those who are hoping to go through, I think they can probably relax once Nepraeva, number 33, has come into the finish. Julia Kern, how is she doing at halfway? Not in the top 10.
That's impressive finish, though, or is it? Oh, 8.62. I think she'll be safe in the top 30 at the end of the day.
Yeah. Gantz was 4 seconds outside. Most people are 2 or 3 seconds slower than that by the time they finish. She's dropped a lot of time. 5.5 seconds given away on the second half of the course. That takes in the big climb. And there's a lesson to learn there, Mike. Save something for the second half of the sprint course. Go too hard and you will pay a heavy price. What about Frida Karlsson? She was going okay at halfway, still lying in 6th place. And if she can get within 10 seconds, she's comfortably going through. She does, 5.98, and Karlsson into the top 10.
I think Karlsson will be delighted with that. She looked controlled, she looked relaxed as well in the early part of her race.
Yeah, Karlsson a little bit up and down this season. She's one of those athletes that gets ill quite a lot. So just controlling the amount she races. Nadine Feindrich, the winner here last year, 1:42. She's on the same sort of form. She finished ahead of Lynn Svan and Heidi Weng in the last sprint of last year's Tour. Kahara, Gimler, Weng, Lotte Udnes-Weng making up the top 6 on that occasion, with Yuensu the fastest in the semi-finals, who didn't make the top 6. Well, Moa Lundgren, Mike, who started 28, has gone through the halfway with a new lead time of 1:57.8. Be interesting to see if she can match that.
Just looking at Feindrich, her time at halfway, she was only 8th position and nearly 3 seconds behind. I think you mentioned it. I think it's all about the pacing in the first half of this course. Take it within yourself.
Rosenberg, I think she can relax with 25 of 58 completed. Not guaranteed at the moment, but she is going okay. Still waiting for Moa Lundgren to come down into the finish. Yuensu,
yeah, she's set fastest.
Yeah, the new leader for Yuensu, and Casol is going to be, what, 10 seconds or so outside, maybe a tiny bit less. 9.63 the margin, and this is Moa Lundgren, the fastest time still at halfway. She has faded after a lead of half a second. She's 2.46, so losing 3 seconds on the second stage of this course. This is why it's so important to race here, Mike, and this is why it's very, very sad that Slind and particularly Skofter and Skistad are not racing.
It really is. You know, they wanted a feel for what's going to happen here in just 34 days' time. Well, it's one of the earlier races at the Olympics, and really sad they're missing that opportunity.
Now, is Eber Anderson going to qualify in the top 30? 10 seconds you would have thought was safe. This is going to be just over that margin. And she goes down into 19th. Still got 28 to come across the line. I think we can automatically take away 10 of them.
Perry did well, didn't she, over the 5-kilometre race? I thought that would have raised her confidence, but is she going to make it? I don't think that'll survive the top 30.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone. No one who started after 30 has broken into the top 15 at halfway. Perel, France she's on the cusp. 27th position at the moment, and Nepraeva finishing very, very strongly. This is a good drive from her, and she's going to be what, 18, 19? She's going to miss out. No, she's there for now. She's there for now, but that might not be enough.
Do you know, I think this is going to be the largest spread from 1st to 30th, so the top 30 important. They go through to the quarterfinals, semis and finals. I think this will be the biggest spread ever in terms of time.
Well, that tells you quite a lot about the course, Mike.
Yeah.
It's tough, and an Olympic course should be tough.
It should be tough, and of course we've lost quite a large number of sprinters throughout the attrition of the Tour de Ski to this point.
Yeah. I like the idea of having the sprint on the penultimate day, in that it means the sprinters stay with it a little bit longer, and some of them did exceptionally well in that new 5K format, particularly Jimmy Clooney from Great Britain, top 5, best ever result for him, and he'll be in action a little bit later on. The men's race starting at 12:50 local time, just before midday in the UK.
Still 15, Iduka there in 30th place, 15.21 to make that top 30. I think she might survive. There's still a way to go.
No,
it's early bells.
Yeah, she's missed it.
Oh, you sure? My timing says she's still at 30.
Oh, what? Are you talking Alison Mackey?
Iduka.
Let's see where she is now. Iduka. Yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about Nepraeva, who was just across the line. This is...
yeah, there she goes.
Just looking for Stadlober. Heidi Weng is in at the moment, Mike, lying in 26th position. And as you can see, the time margins are getting bigger and bigger. So Weng might get a run out in the first heat, which is important for her. This is unlucky for Sauerbrei. Half a horsepower with that one stick. Credit to her for sticking at it, but that's really tough. I wonder where she broke that.
Well, where were the coaches? That's what's going through my mind. The last opportunity is the very top of the hill, where you, technically that's where you pick up your broken pole. She must have done that on the way down the hill.
Kolodze hasn't made it. Looking for late starters. Eva Ingebrigtsen, Mike, is in the top 25 at halfway. She started number 47, so she should be in within the next minute. And Tilloy of France, she's in the top 30 as well at halfway. So if they've not paced it wrong, I think they're the only two left who could challenge Dillebrand. France might be able to do. She's outside the top 30 at halfway.
Looking good. Looking good.
That's a good finish.
And it's very serious now, sorry, Patrick, for Stadlober. In fact, no, she's just in behind Stadlober. 28th position for Theresa Stadlober.
Yeah, so Iduka is gone. This is Sornes of Norway. And
yeah, that's too much deficit there. She will compete no further the rest of today.
Save herself for the final day of the Tour, pretty handy climber. There is Ingebrigtsen. She was well in contention at halfway, but misses out by a fraction. Martina Decenta's had a cracking start for Italy. She's up in the top 24 at halfway, 5.4 seconds off. Tirloy was another of those challenging at halfway. Has she stayed strong? It's going to be close. Needs to be within 13.81 seconds. No, she's missed it.
I'm just thinking, you know, it is the Olympic track. Is it, I was going to say, is it fair that that it's almost a 4-minute race for the women? You know, historically it's been around 2:45 to 3:10. So we're adding a full minute 15 to what is an Olympic sprint for women.
Yeah, it's become much more of an endurance course. Who does that brings in quite a few skiers, doesn't it? Certainly Jess Diggins. I think it suits her a little bit better. Hard graft, lots of climbing. Drolet just misses out. Number 55 is the one we want to keep an eye on. That is Martina Decenta. Majakina is out of it. This is Nissinen. This is okay. This is okay. And that pushes Heidi Weng further down the list. Didier Laurent of France is now in 30. Yanatova of Czechia is out, so no bonus seconds for her. 54 and 55 tucked in behind. And Didier Laurent of France watching on because she knows that number 55, Decenta, probably the last possible person who can push her out of the top 30. Are the Italians going to get an athlete through? We need to have our timing wand on Decenta. Just misses out. So again, Mike, even the locals have got the pacing wrong. So many of them going too hard for the first 800.
Oh, I was worried for Theresa Stadlober. She's third in the Tour de Ski. Had she not made the quarterfinals, then she is reducing those bonus seconds she will pick up by being top 30. Looks like she will survive.
So Yuensu leading, Feindrich last year's winner in 2, Moa Ilar, who's second in the Tour standings, in 3, Hagström of Sweden, renowned sprinter, in 4, Moa Lundgren, who's also having a good season, in 5, and Matin Talu of Finland in 6. So 2 Finns, 3 Swedes, and a Swiss athlete in the top 6 position at the moment. The best of the Norwegians is Drivenes down in 8, and the best of the host nation is Iris de Martin Pinter, who started very, very early and got a good run. Any difference in terms of snow speed? I don't think so, Mike.
Don't think so. I mean, the sun is spinning round and there will be more sunshine on all of the track as the day progresses, but at the moment, no, pretty stable at 12:30 local time.
Yeah, so it's really the bottom end of the top 30 that we're interested in. Stadlober has scraped in by the width of the ski, 13:30 behind. As you can see, they're down in 29th. Didier Laurent survives. Heidi Weng has made it. That's crucial if she wants a realistic challenge at a top 3 in the Tour. And of course, Heidi Weng is one of the best climbers of the Alpe Chermise. And with no Therese Johaug, Mike, maybe she's got her eye on winning that one.
Possibly has, and that's still on the table. Hey, I'm just thinking as we go into the quarterfinals for the women, of course, we've got the men's qualification coming up, but it's going to be so much more tactical when there's 6 athletes side by side, and it's going to be a real cat fight on the track for those tight corners, getting the right position into the final descent. It's a massive battle out to come.
But the big climb that is bigger than last year, that surely gives the stronger athlete an opportunity to break away. And when I say break away, I mean get 10-15 meters clear, which then should result in a victory coming down the hill into the stadium.
Well, I've already thought that's what Klæbo will, and his amazing backup staff, his father, his grandfather, they'll be thinking that's the way to win the Olympics.
Well, good start to the day for the Finns. Jasmi Yuensu She's the best of the Finns in the Tour rankings, lying 4th at the moment, 11th in the first sprint. Actually had a really good outing in the 20k Classic, and that pulled her up to 4th in the Tour, ahead of Heidi Weng, ahead of her teammate Matintalu and Niskanen. Niskanen is out of the Tour, incidentally. Astrid Øyre Slind is out of the Tour. Skistad is out of the Tour. All of them either exhausted or ill. So there were we, Mike, saying that it's the shortest, easier Tour de Ski we've ever had. And a lot of the big guns are falling.
They really are. I don't think, generally we're on a 7-day, and generally there's 3 races here, Thursday, then a day off, then Saturday, Sunday. But yes, they're dropping, and I think everyone's taking extra special care with the Olympics looming in 34 days here. What's your feeling on this new track? My jury is still out. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it fitting for an Olympic sprint?
Well, I agree with you. I think it's a little bit too long. It's going to be interesting to see. I would have thought the men's time was, what, around 3:20, maybe even 3:30, which is a lot longer than usual. I like the fact that it's hard. Again, I would like to see more technical turns. There is that one right-hander that leads into the big climb. I'd like to see a couple of switchbacks. You know what I'm like. Anything that gives the downhill skiers amongst them an advantage, because they get precious little help on the World Cup tracks nowadays. But it's interesting, Mike, and I don't think, to be honest, we can judge until we've seen 6 side by side.
Exactly, and the fastest of the 2 tight curves, one to the right, one to the left. I think the left-hander, I'm quite sure we'll see athletes falling there. That's critical. There'll be spare poles ready, I'm sure. I would like to have seen it slightly shorter actually for the women's sprints, because it's more an endurance now. The raw sprinters may not be able to last 3:45. And traditionally, at World Cup, we've had a 1.2 for the women, 1.5 for the men here. But of course, those days have changed.
Well, we're just waiting for the group selection and the athletes. The reason they're all on their phones is not sending messages home. It's to have a look at their position, and they'll be following where all the athletes have gone.
The most charismatic coach is definitely the Austrian, who is the Italian sprinters coach.
So Drivness goes for heat number 5. Melissa Gall should be next. She goes 4. After her, it's Matintalu, who goes for heat number 4 as well. Who are they trying to avoid? They should know that Skistad's not here. Lundgren brave enough to go into heat number 1. Hagström and Ilar still to come. And then, of course, Feindrich and Yuensu.
That was tentative. I like the way that Hagström appeared to be keeping the pace within herself. I think she's a lot more to give.
Yeah, I think she's limping.
Oh no!
I think she's limping. I think she's got an issue with that left foot. Maybe her toes are just cold. Let's hope that that's what it is. But that was not an easy walk from her up to the selection board. Monsono goes into 2. Who's going to be the next to go into group number 1? Lundgren, hoping that it's going to be a while. It's going to be an easy run. It's Yuensu who's straight in there. Good work.
I really hope Yuensu can get her. She's, with respect, she often has the fastest run-out time in qualification, but when it comes to tight pack racing, she's nervous. She's not bold and pushy. You need to be outright pushy.
Yeah, Diggins often goes heat 5. Today she's gone for 4. And yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Mike? Because we've always felt that heats 1 and 2 give you the most rest at the critical stage of the competition later on. But Diggins has so often had problems in the first round, and if she gets through that, generally she gets to the final.
It's quite interesting. I mean, historically, heat 5 has been where Diggins would place herself. Last week she went 4, to this week, or in Toblach she went 4. She's 4th again today. It seems to work for her, and she, in her mind, will be believing she can take the win here.
Nissanen goes 3. No one's scared of Feindrich. Not a bad heat, that. It's going to be a very interesting run. Feindrich, I think, will be pretty happy with the way things are panned out at the moment.
I'm surprised a lot of these decisions haven't been made, you know, in the 3.5, 4 minutes since your selection started. But Kern there, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice from Julie Kern. Into heat number 2, Kahara was 6:87 outside the winning time, and Kern was, if I can just get the computer to work, Kern was 10:78, so a 4-second gap between those two. Here we go. The tail enders from qualifying have got to join Juentsu and Lundgren. I think that was a really good move from Mer Lundgren.
I do too, and you know, I would love for her. She's, I suppose, of the big names in the Swedish team, she's less well known. She's a good cross-country skier. I think today she can touch the podium.
Well, you would hope she's a good cross-country skier in the Swedish team. I see Torgny Morgren's been saying that we shouldn't necessarily fill all the slots we have for the Olympics because the team aren't good enough. Those are pretty harsh words from one of their best ever skiers.
Well, he must have been referring to the men's team.
He was referring to the men's team, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's from a great historic racer, and he raced well here every time, Morgren. I'm surprised he's been brutally honest like that, but they have been struggling.
I think it was all to do with Kalle Halvarsson, actually, who's focused on sprinting this year, and it just hasn't gone very well at all. But plenty of time to talk about that. Stadlober goes into heat number 4, so goes up against a rival. Where is Weng gone? She's gone into 3, Mike. I think Heidi Weng might fancy her chances of making the semi-final. Or if you're going to put a lot of effort in on the final climb tomorrow, Mike, do you want to avoid the semi-final? Do you just want to get a few bonus seconds from the first round?
Well, do you know, that's an interesting concept. I think the big names would be risking that extra fatigue by trying to win today to get 60 seconds or minus 60 seconds off their time.
Well, I think you can guarantee that Jess Diggins will be trying to win. She's going in heat 4, and that looks fairly even. That's going to be a tight one. But I think Diggins should have the pace to be able to control it. Well, it's a fairly typical scene here in Val di Fiemme. The north side of the valley, snow-covered a little bit, lots of it artificial, but it's cold. And the tracks are in good condition. The south side of the valley, not a flake of snow to be seen.
And with the Olympics in mind, they've got plenty stored snow, should they need it, to bring out onto the tracks. I think the women, Patrick, will be not apprehensive, but thinking, oh my word, if I have to make it to the top 6 today, I've got a lot of hard times coming for the quarterfinals, in the semi, and then the final. It's a lot of energy and stressful day, actually. It's a long, tiring day always at the sprints.
Yeah, they've got 2 days to 2 hours to recover. What are they going to do in these next 2 hours? Well, there'll certainly be a bit of massage, I would have thought. There's a bit of ski testing to do. Just basically take on a bit of fuel. What else would you do, Mike, with your time?
I think, honestly, the best thing is to relax. Yes, they've got the sit-on bikes, the mobile, as if you're in the gym, keep the legs turning. I would find a quiet spot and lie down, to be honest.
2 hours, 2 hours on the ergo. I'm not sure that's not going to do them any good at all. Wow, isn't it stunning? Absolutely fantastic. And this place is going to be mobbed in 33 days' time.
Yes, all the little villages surrounding the venue for the Olympic Games. Lovely little villages.
Yeah, clear skies forecast tonight. Temperatures are going to plummet again. -3 at the moment. There's a big meteor show tonight, so once it's gone dark, might be worth a visit outside. So another look at the course, 1,500 metres the distance. That is the hill that I think put pay to some people's chances in the first round. We're getting a split at 800, which is just before they start climbing again. We could do with a split at the top of the hill as well to see how they're coping with it. There's the start list for the men, and by my reckoning, Mike, we've had a few withdrawals. De Fabiani has come out, Thomas Stephen has gone out. We'll keep an eye out for any others that we see, but we've still got 82 athletes in the men's Tour de Ski.
It's a big field, and I think we might see some dropouts, of course, after today. There'll be tired legs after today, and some might opt out of that brutal final climb.
And Scott Evanson starting 23, Lapalou, who's a good hill climber, a good race today. James Clooney on a high after his 5th place in the 5K mass start 3 days ago. Xavier McKeever of Canada, a famous cross-country skiing family out there, lives in Whistler. William Peroma. It's good to see he's starting, Mike. Gledhill and Musgrave for Great Britain, 67 and 70. Musgrave still with a chance of getting his PB in the Tour de Ski, 12th last year. Joe Davies, he's starting later on as well. Another athlete who's based in Whistler. Well, there's the man to beat. Johannes Husford Klæbo. Total whitewash at the World Championships last year. He won the sprint and he won the 50k and everything in between.
Just thinking also, Patrick, the last few years, Klæbo, he's only raced here 3 out of the 4 times we've had sprints. This man could beat him today, I think. It's a big statement to put the 20-year-old ahead of the great Klæbo.
Yeah, you have to wonder how much he's got left in the tank. Jules Chapaz, the French, pretty good on the final day. As far as the Tour standings are at the moment, Klæbo leads, Stenshagen in 2, Schumacher of USA with that win in the 5K, he's in 3rd, Emil Iversen 4, Edvin Anger of Sweden in 5, and Federico Pellegrino. It's another good tour from him. There's Anger of Sweden, and Mike, the fastest time in the 20k 2 days ago. I guess a top 3 is probably his best hope.
I think so, but he'll feel lifted, you know, for a victory over the 20 kilometres. Anger is focused. He desperately wants to beat the Norwegians. Lapalou, I think, well, it suits him. He's not an out-and-out sprinter, so maybe the fact that it's more endurance, that I think the winning time will be around 3:22 for the men.
There's Pellegrino.
He means business, doesn't he? Look at that stride. Okay, this is my patch.
Yeah, and credit to him, he's got better and better. Do you think his sprinting suffered due to the fact he's done more distance racing?
I think it has. It's taken the sharpness, the edge off, but he is a much better distance racer.
So the women's qualification completed, and the Finns delighted to see Joensuu at the top of the list. All the groups have been allocated, and now we're waiting for the start of the men's qualification. Just 15 seconds in between each of the starters, so it's fast and furious, and blimey, that would have broken my ribs. David Gratz of Italy is the first man away. He comes from Sappada, which is the northeast corner of Italy, not so far from Cortina. Schumacher, what a win that was. His second World Cup win. He was delighted with that. And I wonder how much of a lift he's had. 11th, 17th, 1st and 6th, his positions in the Tour. He lies third at the moment. What about Jack Young?
Jack Young, and what he did in Davos I thought was fabulous. His 4th position, just off the podium in the sprint, so he's got to believe in himself. But I do think this course may be his downfall, a little too tough for him.
Jules Chapaz, and of course he was 4th in the 5k mass start. The secret seemed to be get yourself into, was it group 3? I think it was group 3, wasn't it?
It was, and I think Chapaz, he looked tired on the warm-up, but he battered his chest, and I think he means business. Well, this man double-poled in Trondheim, a much easier, only double-polling. I don't think this course is physically possible to last out only double-polling.
Well, he was saying he might try it, but he's worried that they'll put in non-double polling sections for the Olympics if he does that. Lars Heggen, 2 podiums in his career, and what a start he's had this year. He's only 20, 7th in the Tour standings at the moment, and of course 2nd in the sprint on the opening day of the Tour. This is Puello of Spain, qualified in last place to get into the knockout. And Mattis Stenshagen, Mike, the winner of stage 2, 2nd in the Tour standings. At the moment, he's only 51 seconds down on Clevo.
That's a good margin. He really wants a good day. I'm not sure his sprinting is as good as he would like at the moment.
Remy Baudin, starting 9. Outside the top 30 in the first sprint with a much reduced field. He's certainly got an opportunity. Federico Pellegrino, I think he's got a chance of catching Baudin.
Do you know, from his 17 victories, he would love to take the title. Of course he would here at the Olympics in 34 days' time. And as a good warm-up, I think he would love a podium today. And I really think he has a chance, Patrick. His maturity, his endurance levels, and the desire. 3 key points that could lift him onto the podium.
Well, he's gone out hard, Mike. He's gone out very, very hard. And Pellegrino must have practiced on this more than anyone else. But it's we saw from the women's race that if the first 800 metres is too quick, you've got very, very little chance of producing an optimum time. You have to save something for that second climb. Anton Grahn is chasing Edwin Anger out of the start gate. Now we pick up on Pellegrino.
It'll be interesting to see how Pellegrino attacks this right-hander. He'll try and carry speed out of it, but then you've got a very sharp second climb. And I think the next descent, you can see it there, the athlete just heading out. It's a tight left-hander.
Yeah, I was hoping we were going to see Mulbach. Mulbach, Mike, has gone through 800 in the lead. If he's gone waxless, then you'd expect to see him lose a fair amount of time on the second half of the course.
I'd love to see him if he has gone waxless, therefore just double polling. Oh, it super loads the smaller muscles. Stenshagen, you can tell in the bottom right of the screen, he's not an out-and-out tempo sprinter, so endurance athlete more.
Elliot Barp just starting. Mulbach still with the fastest time. Schumacher leads in the finish with a time of 3:22.33, so it is considerably quicker than we saw in the women's race. Stolben of Germany is underway. The Germans not too much to write home about as far as their Tour standings go.
Amundsen about to set off. I think he's hungry and angry today. He wants to buy some of those precious 60 seconds up for grabs if you win today.
Chapaz has taken the lead in the finish, 3:19.22. Mulbach has come in 2:16 behind, having been a decent margin ahead of Chapaz. He was, 3.5 seconds ahead of Chapaz at halfway. So Mulbach did lose time, Mike. And although we didn't see him at any stage, I suspect he might have tried to double pole it.
Yeah, I'm amazed at Pellegrino, Patrick. In my brain, I was saying he's going to be top 5 in this early stage, but he's really looking tired. He's in 11th place. Maybe his hope is the second half of this course he'll pull back time. It's unlikely.
He did come out of the stadium pretty fast, so maybe just took the first climb relatively easy, Down he comes into the stadium, and Pellegrino 4.5 seconds behind, going through the 800-meter stage. He's still got 7 seconds in hand, so you'd think he was in the top 3, but he's not going to match Chapaz.
Well, he certainly had a better second half to the course. Well done to him, and that's unusual for the second half to be much improved from the first half.
Yeah, so 7th place at the moment, but still a lot of big guns to come. Was that Ben Ogden just getting underway for the USA, or it might have been Hugo Lapalu, I think, just starting number 24 it was. Niilo Moilanen is Finland, number 25.
I think this, at 105 kilos, it doesn't entirely suit Edwin Anger, but I did like the fact he's got so much reach for this precious final 200 meters. He could be a challenge in the final.
Now, the fact that Chapaz is leading, Mike, would that not suggest that this is an endurance sprinter's course rather than an out-and-out sprinter?
Yeah, I was going through my mind. I think his time is really good. I thought 3:21 would be Klabo's time today, but clearly Klabo, I think, could take a couple of seconds off that time. There he is, in yellow. He loves that colour. He's lived in it for about 10 years. Pretty good from Juve, comfortably in. I hope, Patrick, we pick up on Klabo, on the way he takes these tight corners. That's where there's a lot of gain for Klabo, the way he carries big energy out.
Yeah, good run from Elliot Bark there, 195 outside. Still the French leading with Chapaz, 3:19.92 is the leading time. Stolben's not going to be far away. This is good from the German. He goes top 4, guaranteed, I think, to get into the top 30 today. And with Klebo out on the course, Shahnavaz starting just after him. And who else? I think those really, Mike, are the last two to challenge, although we'll keep a very, very careful eye on James Clooney of Great Britain, who starts number 39.
Well, this is a big up from Schumacher.
Yeah, that's good. Second fastest going through the halfway, and he's going to be top 4, or just outside the top 5. Good run. 33 is Mocellini. For Italy, comes from Grigino.
Just eyeballs focused on Klabo going through the half distance. Ben Ogden's just broken the best time at half distance by 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, that's a good run. Mulbach in second place, Schumacher of USA in third, Amundsen of Norway in fourth. Amundsen really struggled in the 20k, said he was seeing stars by the halfway stage, so it'd be very interesting to see how he gets on. What about Korostev across the line? He's within 10 seconds.
Korostev, he's on the way up all the time, isn't he? Klabo's 1 second behind, if I'm correct, at half distance.
Gabrielli is there as well. Klabo is exactly a second, 5th place. I think we'll see him pull back, or do you think he'll try and save? Maybe, Mike, with a much, much tougher sprint course, he'll want to conserve and not be too obsessed with the points you get for winning qualification.
Yes, possibly. They're such a clever team. Maybe that was the last night's debate. But, you know, you do want a good selection of groups, but he'll get the group he wants anyway.
Roman Alder is away. Moilanen very quick indeed. And Moilanen just trying to find his halfway speed.
I think economical.
He was way down. He was way down. 4 seconds off the lead.
Iversen, he said his sprinting days are in the past, but this is pretty good.
Well, 21st position. This is very much closer than we saw in the women's race. 27 is Ben Ogden. Generally does well in qualification and round 1. That's good enough. 5th place for Ben Ogden.
Look at this. He's picked the pace up massively in the second half.
That is how to do it. Well, we've got a new leader. Chapaz is going down a 2, and this was for Klebo. Just establishes himself as the favourite. or underlines the fact that he's the favourite. He was a long time ago.
What an amazing athlete, Klæbo. He started economically. He knows how to handle these corners, and I think he's the best athlete to get the energy out and into the next hill. Shanava, I think he would have hoped for a little better than 15th.
Well, I'm not sure. I think he'll be happy with 15th, but I think he'll be very depressed to see he's 5 seconds behind his main rival. That's not particularly good news. Is Giselman going to get top 20, but 24th at the moment? Remember, just the top 30 going through. We've still got a couple of speedsters to come, so nothing guaranteed at the moment. 30th position held by Hugo Lapalou.
Benny Moser in 30th. He'll be dropped, I'm quite sure, outside the top 30.
I think Kedison's done enough. Kedison's into the top 10. 84 starters in all.
Oh, Mozzolini.
Cellini's top 5. Wow, how about that? There's a surprise for you. Maybe Pellegrino's not the Italian we should be watching.
Well, Mozzolini, he has a good race, every couple of years? Maybe today's the day.
3:17.64, the current leading time. The course doesn't look so long, Mike, when you see that time.
3:17.64 for Klæbo. It doesn't look too bad now, does it? And the fastest of the women, what was it? 3:54, was it?
It was somewhere. It was
3:44.
3:44. Semench just missing out for now.
Pellegrino at position 22. I really hope he survives in that top 30.
Gabrielli of Italy just misses out. And 37 is Stern of Slovenia. James Clune, Mike.
Not good at halfway, 5.8 in 35th position, surprised.
Yeah, he needs to do some work. Let's hope that he's paced this one and he's got something for the second half. It is a classic race, which is not his favourite, but a good race from Clune today would certainly set him up. Andy Musgrave racing, of course. If he could get top 30, that would be something of a surprise, but we will see. Now, Clune into the finish. He's hit the big time, getting a top 5 just 3 days ago. Oh, he misses out. Slim margins, but he's missed that top 30, so no second run for him. Kevin Bolger lives in Trondheim in Norway. And 9:31, he's on the bubble, as they say.
He's got a nervous few minutes. In fact, he hasn't.
I think it's just a nervous few seconds, because Fottinger looks as though he is going to make the top 30, but it's going to be close. Wow. It is close. Oh, Bolger survives by a fraction.
Well, he'll be counting. He'll be hoping. Starega probably going to do it. Come on.
Look how tight it is. Oh my goodness, it is Starega who scrapes into the top 30, and that means that USA's Kevin Bolger is out. But the USA at the moment, they've got Ogden in 7th, Ketterson in 9, Schoenmaker in 12, Schumacher in 13. It's been a fantastic day for the American team.
It really has, and Finland as well, with Moilanen and Mäki 4th and 5th, and it hasn't been a great day for Norwegians, apart from, of course, the obvious. Amundsen in 6th, and a little surprisingly, the youngster, where is he? The Norwegian sensation. He's in 20th.
Well, Hagen is in 20th. Doesn't matter, Mike. It's not about qualification.
Absolutely, and you know, maybe he's got very a wise head in those young shoulders by thinking, okay, I'll pace it, I'll make the top 30.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what group he goes. If he chooses Group 1, you know he's feeling good and he took his time on qualification. If he goes Group 5, it might be a different story. Makiba goes 8.46 outside. He misses by 0.4 of a second. Giselman survives. Any of the late starters, Graham Ritchie was going okay. He started number 49.
So close.
Yeah, Ema's going to miss. It is, you know, coaches so often say on the side of the line of the tracks, Mike, every second count. I think they have to revise that. Every 10th of a second counts. It is so tight.
Oh, Graham Ritchie, I thought he was going to make it, but another one just outside that precious top 30.
Yeah, he was 31st at halfway, 31st when he crossed the line. Berglund, big figure from Sweden. Is he going to scrape inside? The margin down to 30 at the moment is 8:05. He's missed that by over a second. Well, with 20 metres to go, Mike, it's looking good for just about everyone.
It's looking good. I'm trying to look at find any athletes coming through at 800 metres, but
yeah, Johan Ekberg started 56, and he is only just outside the top 30. So if he saves something, it could be good. Janos Brugger of Germany is going to miss by a considerable margin.
He's one of very few athletes to step outside the cut on prepared tracks, and I think we'll see Klæbo doing that in the finals. I think that's faster in between.
Theo Shelley is the man we want to watch out for, Mike. And up comes his time. He's well inside. This is a good run. He's just outside the top 11 at halfway, and he's picked up on the second half. 3:45. Great run from Shelley.
Yeah, that was impressive. And not an advantage, you could argue, going so late, but at least he knows what he has to do and his split times. This looks good from Ekberg, you mentioned.
Yeah, Ekberg was, he was 0.2 of a second outside qualifying at halfway. I think if he got a split at the top or the bottom of the hill, he should be able to raise his game. 8 seconds is the margin. He's done it. That's a good ski from Ekberg. He's responded well to the information he got on the tracks, and into 23rd, which pushes Korostelev is out now, down in 31st, and it's Starega of Poland lying in 30th position at the moment.
I'm just thinking with Andrew Musgrave still to start. He's bib 70. He'll be viewing this as more an endurance. Has he got the spark, the sprinting that he used to have? It's maybe departed, but I think he'll be feeling positive. Well, Paroma's ribs are okay.
Yeah, 11:18. That's the end of his day's work. Can now focus on the Alpecirmese, the last stage, which of course starts in this stadium. Mass start nowadays.
I think the Swedes have to be so disappointed. Well, Edvin Anger at 16th is the best, and then Ekberg 23rd, and Gran, that's 3 Swedes in the top 30, but it's got to be disappointing as a team for them.
Kolev a long way outside, and Hines isn't going to make it. As far as British interest goes, Gledhill started 67, Musgrave at 70, so it shouldn't be too long. Jimmy Clunet, Mike, missing out on this occasion. He's down in 45th position.
I think he'll be disappointed. We've seen great form from Clunet, his 5th position, personal best, 3 days ago. He'll be disappointed. Gledhill, Gabriel Gledhill hasn't had a great start, to be frank. He's 8.5 behind, 8.3 behind.
Kruger across the line.
Musgrave,
sorry,
we'll pick up 57.
Yeah, Kruger, Mike, winner of the Alpecirmese last year. He's not going to qualify for the knockout phases, so I think his whole plan has been make an impression, win that World Cup, be the fastest up the climb. And if there's one certain in cross country, it's that your time up the Alpecirmese is pretty much exactly the same every year.
It's so true, but you know, he's been way off his spectacular best for some time. Showed absolutely 3 days ago that it's coming back.
Yeah. Ray of Norway goes 53, so no opportunity for him to improve his position in the Tour de Ski at the moment. Klæbo, Stenshagen, Schumacher, Iversen, Anger are the top 5 places in the Tour. And what's exciting, Mike, with a mass start tomorrow, is how close they all are. Here comes Gledhill of Great Britain, 20.76. And... Well, it's not a bad time, but he's a lot of positions off qualifying, and no one starting outside the top 60 has got anywhere close to the top 30 at halfway. So I think Starega can breathe easy. Or maybe he's thinking, I really could do without a knockout race.
Ericsson, another, frankly, poor performance from the great nation Sweden.
Musgraves closed on Ericsson dramatically, and 59.
That's okay. That's a good
second
time.
of the Brits. Second of the Brits. 15:36 given away. Musgraves' time in the Tour. He is at the moment, Mike. What 3:34.10? But what's his margin behind? In 19th place.
19th.
Trying to look.
Yeah, 5:49.
5:49.
Friedrich Mock, I think his younger brother is doing slightly better. He's on the track, his younger brother.
I was just looking to see Musgrave, 2:05, his margin behind the leaders at the moment. And last year, he finished the Tour 3:46 off the leaders. I know there were extra stages. So with the winner of today's sprint getting a bonus 60 seconds, I think we're going to be looking at a deficit of around the 3-minute mark for Andy Musgrave, maybe a little bit bigger than that, 3:15, 3:20.
75, he's going to have a bright future. I think he's showed some good, magic potential for his future racing, and that's a decent performance from Jakob Elias.
Yeah, 84 starters in all, so we're nearly there. They only started 15 seconds apart, and then we'll bring you the group selection, which is always a little bit of fun. See who's feeling good.
Andrew Young looked a lot better there, 48th, just in behind Clooney by 1 second, less than a second.
Yeah, Andrew Young must be a little bit concerned, Mike, about selection for the Olympic Games. Only 3 places going. You would have thought Musgrave was nailed on after his performances 3 days ago. Jimmy Clooney looks as certain, and Joe Davies has been going okay. You know, he's well positioned in the Tour.
Yep, I hope that Andrew Young's form there, that looks a lot better. Will that be taken into consideration? And yeah, it's tough, isn't it? 5 athletes, 3 will go. Gledhill didn't look good today. He might be the one for certain not to.
Florian Knotts outside, and margins now 16 seconds or so. Top 30 separated by only 7.88, which actually might. We've had plenty of sprints where the margin has been between 5.5 and 6.5 seconds. But after what we saw in the women's, I thought the margins would be bigger.
I did too. I thought we'd be around 10 seconds, but it's 7.88. Joe Davies, it's another strong performance, but he won't be starting in any of the races to come.
Yeah. And he just misses out on taking the scalp of Andy Musgrave. 1 place ahead of him. Yeah, what a shame there won't be a British relay team in the Olympic Games. I think they could have certainly got their best ever.
And you know, 9th at the World Championships last year, I thought that was a strong enough result to absolutely take 4 men to the Olympics. And the way they've improved, they could push that down to, who knows, the top 5.
So confirmation of their positions after the qualifying. Klebo back on top. He leads the overall standings, he leads the sprint standings, he leads the Tour de Ski, and he just goes from strength to strength. Further down the order, the Americans are there in numbers, 11, 13, 14, all going to the States. Edwin Anger needs a good race if he wants to challenge for a top 3 in the Tour de Ski this year. Lars Heggen down in 21. We're expecting a bit more from him. He's 5.5 seconds behind. And further down, Mike, Federico Pellegrino, he made it, but not by much.
By the skin of his teeth, really, wasn't it? Well, 25th, 6.2 behind. I think when it comes to tactical racing in the quarterfinals, then the semis, I think we'll see a better... Here he is, Pellegrino. Oh, that's Graz, David Graz.
Well, that just about wraps up the qualification. We've still got to do the selection for the men's groups, but Joensuu of Finland looking very, very impressive in the women's qualification. She took top spot, and Johannes Husford Klæbo, once again, the best sprinter in the world. Well, I think we still delay judgment on the course, don't we, Mike, until we see them racing together, see how they cope with the corners.
Do you know, I think
Klæbo Klopp is back.
It is. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting course profiles to watch the 6 side by side. It's going to be messy, it's going to be aggressive, and a few trip-ups along the way. Mozzolini, that's so exciting for the Italians. You know, it's been a long time, well, 2 years, when he touched the podium twice, and one of those times was here, and that was classic style, so full of confidence. His best this year, is prior to today, has been 18th. That was in Oruka, the first of the World Cups. Let's hope that Mozzolini in second place, it might bring a few spectators in the area who've watched this qualifying time and bring them into the stadium for this afternoon.
Yeah, it's always pretty quiet here in Val di Fiemme. It will be a different story for the Olympic Games. Well positioned for Slovenia and Austria and Switzerland and France, and even Germany's not too far away. There are going to be many, many international spectators for the Olympic cross-country events. In a way, Mike, it's a shame that it's so far from here to where the biathlon's taking place, because so many of the cross-country fans want to watch the biathlon as well.
It is a shame. I mean, the transport network is pretty good, but it's always mega busy, isn't it, trying to move around at Olympic venues.
You're going to give me 5 people for Group 1? Klæbo's an obvious.
Klæbo an obvious. I think Jules Chapard will go for the fight. And Mozzolini, would he risk it? If not Mozzolini, I would say Ben Ogden will. And maybe even...
Well, Pellegrino quite likes Group 1. He's not scared.
And maybe Edwin Anger as well. I hope he goes in there. Milback is looking.
Well, it can't be that difficult at this stage.
you need it in your mind, don't you, at this stage?
Or is there an issue?
Where did Milback finish? Oh, it's 10th.
Well, Milback's gone heat 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he pressed a different one. Okay, he's gone heat 3 as well. Well, I'm not sure what that's about. Did he press 3 and 2 came up? Not sure.
I'm amazed they gave him a second chance, so I imagine there was some technical issue. Didn't see.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Ben Ogden 4, not going in 1.
When Ben Ogden clatters the thing as hard as that, it's no surprise they have the occasional electrical fault.
Deep in thought. Is this Amundsen?
Well, he needs to hurry up, or is he just trying to get airtime?
That's interesting. I thought he'd have a pre-thought-out plan there.
Yeah. his chest did not sound too good. I know it's cold, but there's been a lot of illness going around, particularly in the Norwegian and Swedish hotels in Toblach. And yeah, lots of coughing and spluttering. You just don't want that at this stage of the season. Joni Mäki, the first to go into heat number 5, and heat 1 is being avoided like a plague, simply because everyone knows that Johannes Husford Klæbo is going straight in there. He'll be choosing his position pretty soon. Chapaz, Nocciolini, Klæbo. Yeah, you were spot on, Mike.
Yeah, I thought he might.
Is there. He's there for a fight. Nocciolini says no, thank you.
I thought Nocciolini might as well, but there we go.
Yeah, Klæbo in and out, quick as a flash. Into Group 1. Stolben of Germany. Bold move going into Heat 1, looking for maybe an easy ride.
I felt that Stolben has looked good. We saw that a week ago today in Toblach. He looked powerful, he looked dynamic, and he's got confidence now.
Schumacher.
Milk the moment. In with his teammate, little surprised, although there's the Americans have been so good, 4 of them through in the top 20.
Yeah, they've stolen a march on the British team, often lots of rivalry between them, but 4 qualifiers from USA, none from Great Britain today.
Evanson, he's got a good track time with 15th position. He's opted to be in with Klæbo.
Yeah, 5 seconds down. It's a tight affair. Edvin Anger. He's got a long rest now, choosing heat number 5. And the men's first round, what is it? 1:15.
Shanova. Shanova will be happy. He doesn't need to take part anymore up the final climb. I doubt we'll see him there.
Yeah, this is Stenshagen, who is second in the Tour standings at the moment. He's only 51 seconds off Klæbo, so if he can get through the qualifying, you never quite know. Here comes Hagen, who we were slightly surprised he wasn't quicker today. He's gone for group number 2, Mike. Does that tell us anything?
It does. Even the body language there for me told a lot. The story was clear that he's tired. He wasn't swaggering like Klæbo.
Yeah, but his freestyle skating, freestyle sprinting is better than his classic. So maybe we shouldn't quite have expected to see him on the podium today as he was in the first stage of the Tour. So we've had a sprint, a 10K classic, followed by the 5K freestyle, 20 classic, and the today sprinting classic, and we finished the Tour off with the freestyle race up the Alpe Chermis. So heat number 4 is full. Pellegrino, he doesn't want to go up against Klæbo. I think he's not feeling his best.
Is that safe in heat 3? Not sure any of the heats. Look at them; they're all a test as always.
Elisha Jouve didn't qualify in the first sprint. Yeah, he's a man who's no stranger to the podium in the sprints, but things have not really been going his way of late. He completes heat 4, and Tuz and Starega have no choice but to go into heat number 1. So have a look at the range in numbers, 1 through to 30 in Heat 1. You would have thought Kleber would have an easy ride into the semi-finals today. Just a bit of photographic evidence of the groups. And that is it sorted. We should get confirmation of those groups in just a second. There we go. Mike, which heat would you not like to be in?
Yes, it would be definitely Heat 1. Chapin, Stobin, 3 strong athletes. So that is the heat, as we saw so many trying to avoid.
Well, here's what else is coming up on TNT. The men's qualifying for Innsbruck. Yeah, after the Garmisch event, who knows what might happen there. The Sprint Classic starts at 1:30. The race itself starts at 1:45. And plenty of rugby coming up as well to enjoy this afternoon. And of course, a little bit of tennis on the menu as well. Down under, the Australian Open. It is that time of year.